to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Smitt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Webb.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity is going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Webb.
Hello. What's up, Smitt?
What's up, Webb? I'm Smitt. That's Webb, and we are the Wager Makers. Thank you all for joining us. Been another wild week in sports, man. It's the ups and downs, the roller coaster ride you take of being a sports fan, a gambler, whatever you want to call this stuff. Ups and downs, crazy games, crazy happenings on and off the field every week. It's we're a little late getting to the show this week. It's Saturday morning for those that don't know. It seems like a year ago those crazy wild weekend of the Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills and all that stuff was going on, but we'll get into all that today and talk about it. And Webb, this is Wager Maker Podcast number 117.
117 is again, like I said, every time I choke, I chuckle every time we do another show. 17, I've been kind of all over the place. The name came number 17 for me. The number that comes to me is Dave Craig. I like Dave Craig back on the Seahawks days. I was a closet Seahawks fan back in the day, not so much these days, but I like Jim Zorn. I like Steve Largent. I like Dave Craig. And then they had the running back from Penn State for a long time. And they had Cortez Kennedy as well, the Seahawks. So maybe Dave Craig. I don't know who else you got.
They had the other Kurt Warner, right? That was the other run. That wasn't the running back, was Kurt Warner?
Kurt Warner. Was it? Well, yeah, it was Warner, I think. Yeah.
So, I had to look this one up a little bit, but obviously modern day stuff like Devontae Adams is a real good number 17, but not really the skins on the wall kind of stuff that we're looking for. They have Havlicek,
Wow.
I think he was a guard for the Celtics for a long time.
Yeah.
Number 17.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he was number 17. Phillip Rivers in our lifetime, pretty good 17. I don't know if that's just this number didn't come up with that many crazy stuff. They also said Chris Mullins was a number 17, maybe at one point in the NBA.
No, I remember that.
17.
Yeah. That does seem familiar. But that's Havlicek was a good one. And then wasn't there, I don't know, if one of those like Y.A. Tittle or who was a dude like for the Colts? I remember a dude when he had like a buzz cut. I forget whoever the Colts, like a black and white.
Well, I don't know, but if you're wondering, Dandy Don Meredith of the Dallas Cowboys was also number 17. I thought you would be interested. I thought you might be interested in that one. So yeah, there's a bunch. I mean, it goes this one new. I found a new website, so it goes all the way down even to like Rick Fox he was the 15th ranked number 17 of
Fox. Hey, he's got a couple rings.
Right.
He had to carry Carolina. He had to carry Carolina hoops for a couple years. Rick Fox. And that wasn't easy.
True, your boy. All right, so Webb, crazy. We're gonna get into Sean Payton. Obviously, I'm got my sporting the Saints jersey today. But much bigger news: the games. The games never disappoint. At least this past weekend was absolute crazy NFL games. Obviously, the one that stands out in everybody's mind is the Bills Chiefs back and forth, crazy wild ride. The Rams Buccaneers. Rams get up 27-3, and you start thinking. I was like, you never count it out. Tom Brady's going to start doing his things. Tom Brady's they come up with a fumble. They come up with a couple fumbles. I think stupid snap behind Stafford's.
Yeah, Akers fumbled that ball.
Everything, all kinds of crazy shit go on. They get it back 27-27. You're like, oh, this is a done deal. Sure enough, Stafford. Kudos to him. Hasn't been in playoffs hardly ever. No success in the playoffs for sure. Was able to pull off the big plays. How you let dudes run down Cooper Kupp run down the field untouched? Not sure. They had some explanation of that later on, but we'll get into that. Saturday was 49ers Packers. Tight game. Packers just gave it away with block punt. Missed field goal, all that kind of stuff. And then surprising to me, I had the Titans going a long way. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase just beat up on the Titans.
What happened? Did he start the game with an interception, Tannehill? So he kind of really let them down. Now they're talking about the miss. Just that was a bad look for him, and now he's just going to get piled on all off season for not being able to bring, because they probably should have won. I mean, they were playing well. That defensive line, that dude Sim, they were playing good. So Tiny, 3 interceptions I think he had. So he's the one that it's gonna fall squarely on his shoulders.
Especially if that's a team. Go ahead. Well, that's a team that really plays to their running game and passes off of that. They come out first play of the game, I think it was.
It was
through an interception, and the Bengals were able to capitalize on that with it. Well, it was only a field goal, but it just kind of set the tone where they were behind, and even they had some big run plays in that game, and a couple big pass plays, Tennessee, but just couldn't get over the turnovers. Just was too much.
Yeah, I mean the shocking thing was both they were all they talked about when they changed the playoff format is what an advantage that number 1 seed was, right. And not only did both number 1 seeds lose, it was almost that every home team was losing. So it was crazy, and I mean that's the thing that struck me that was crazy. I mean that Packers game too. Like there was how many offensive touchdowns for the team that won. Burrow got sacked. Was that the game he got sacked 150
I think
times?
I think 9 times, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it was 9. And then the Cooper Kupp thing, I don't know how. I mean, that was a great game, and that just like what that's how you're going to end it? You're just going to let a guy run for, like, the dude who's got 10,000 receptions. The one guy they just let him run free. So that kind of was like, come on. That kind of pissed me off there a little bit.
And then the Packers basically they come out the box right down the field, score a touchdown, 7 points. You're like, okay, this is okay. Finally, the home team, like after the Titans ridiculousness, you're like, okay, this is going to be the one home team comes out and just covers.
Yeah,
and that's it. Then they did nothing the rest of the day. Nothing.
What was the final score? Like 19 to
13 to 10.
Right. So the only offensive touchdown they didn't score any offensive touchdowns. The Rams, right?
Or we're talking about the 49ers.
49ers. Sorry.
Well,
right. Just
No, they had 2 field goals and a block punt touchdown. That was it.
That's just undefensible to have the Aaron Rodgers team lose just on some shit like that. Like, how can the special teams, even if you're just average, like, that's just great. I mean, so I'm sure that's just gonna. It just gave him all the ammo he needed to be a real douchebag all off season, just to kind of say, cryptic shit and leave every Packer fan hanging.
Well, he's already started. They have, I think the Denver Broncos hired the Green Bay Packers offensive coordinator, and he's already talked about him and Devontae Adams would love to play in Denver or something. Like, who wants to go to Denver? Webb, you're in a snowstorm, a blizzard going on up there right now.
It's crazy. It's I'm looking out the window here. It's still coming down. It's got to be. I don't know. It's going to end up being probably 2 feet or something like that. But it started
nuts.
Shit, I don't know. 5 o'clock yesterday. It's 10:18 here, and it's still snowing. We did lose some power last night too. We woke up. Luckily, it was in the middle. We woke up and the microwave was blinking and the stove and shit was blinking. Yeah. So.
Well, I guess if you're leaving Green Bay, you can go to Denver. It's no big deal.
Right. It's probably bad. Right. He's
probably better weather.
He said it's closer to L.A. He wants to get back to. He's Hollywood now, so
right. So and then move on to two good games, and then move on to Sunday. Wild, like I say, Rams Buccaneers was wild, and then I saw they had Arians. He never has a problem selling out his players in a post-game press conference.
Right.
They talked a little bit about that play. First of all, the play before the Cooper Kupp long touchdown, they went to Cooper Kupp and got like 20 yards or something like that. So you felt like, oh well, maybe they have a chance to get into field goal range here.
Right.
And then, Cooper Kupp was a couple times over the weekend. There was times, dude, the quarterback's in the screen and he throws the ball, and you're like, oh, let's see what happens here. And there's almost like dudes catching the ball, and nobody else is in the screen with them.
Frame. There's no one else in the frame. Yeah, he was by himself.
That was like a theme all weekend.
Yeah.
And then, so basically, they had some kind of blitz on. It was the famous, we talked about it before, the cover zero. The cover zero.
Yeah. Right.
And the linebacker, they showed a linebacker just stand, and Aaron's just like, well, not everybody blitzed. That was supposed to blitz. And so they were able to pick up. They had enough people to pick up who they needed to pick up, and they had good pressure on Stafford on that play, but obviously not enough. And if that middle linebacker would have come, he was the one, I think.
Who was? Was it Winfield? Devontae David. But what's his name? 31 on the play. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the play before. But Winfield Jr. He kind of just stood there too and let the dude run right by him. It's like, whoop. I just watched him run past.
Right.
So
crazy. So I mean, obviously it was a broken coverage, but man, you look bad when no matter what happened, you let Cooper Kupp go down the middle like the number one guy that I mean, I know Odell Beckham's there and he's dangerous and all, but Kupp has been the number one wide receiver all season long, and
he's setting records.
He's always their number one guy.
Right. He's been good since he's come in the league, but this year especially, he's going to have, I don't know, whatever, some reception record. So literally the one guy, you're not really looking at that spot. Beckham's more over the top, but you're looking for, they're just trying to get in field goal range. So obviously you're going to cover the guy, their possession guy.
Right. I was shocked at that. Again.
Yeah. I mean, it was deflating. I was like, damn. You fought all the way back just to drop the ball. Like,
just let two plays, boom, boom. Okay, yeah. Sorry,
but that was just like, I don't know, almost. I was like, damn. I was just like, that was fucking some bullshit right there.
Why made we watch that whole thing?
Right.
27-point comeback. Going, oh my God, Tom Brady's gonna do this again. I'm making notes about Tom Brady for the show coming up.
And I was actually reading. I'm like, this dude is just crazy. Like, he cannot lose. He elevates everybody, and then the dude just.
All right, so Rams now, and then we move on to Sunday evening. Everybody knew this was going to be the good. The Bills and the Chiefs were two cream of the crop in the AFC for sure. The two all season. The two best teams. I think everybody would agree going in. Don't know what's going to happen the rest of the way, but the Bills Chiefs was the marquee matchup this week. Even though there was
I mean, the two quarterbacks, and I mean they both had times this year where they didn't look like themselves, but then they did. Right the ship at the right time. So yeah, it was everyone was excited for it. It did get the prime time, the marquee game. So
and then it was just mayhem, Webb.
Unbelievable.
I don't know how to describe. I wish we need to get on figure out a way to get live, because we got text messages going on with a group of guys all day long during these games.
I got like 3 different text chains going on.
We need to get that going on Twitter or something, so that we can kind of get other people involved in that. But so, I mean, I don't know. You want to talk about this game? What are your? There's tons of things we can talk about.
Well, the first thing that impressed me. I mean, Josh Allen. I think finally we've been waiting for him to take that next step or grow up or whatever you wanted to say. So that's done. He checked all those boxes. It was incredible. But there were still some plays there, especially, I want to say, in the secondary for the Chiefs, where it was like, dude, you're not going to cover this guy? I mean, you're going to let him split you right down, and no one's going to take him? Like, you're going to look at me, and I'm going to look at you, and he's just going to sit in the end zone and eat a sandwich? So I think maybe it was the last touchdown I guess it was the dude Knox who had the 5 touchdowns. Or not Knox.
No, Davis. Gabriel Davis. So
I wasn't, we're pretty up on that, most of these players. I wasn't too familiar with him coming into this. So,
but after touchdown 3,
right? Maybe
we should watch this guy too.
Right.
I get okay. We're shutting down Diggs, but obviously,
right. So that was, I guess, and then it was one of those where the safety's yelling at the corner, and the corner's like, "You're supposed to." So that was kind of weird. And then the thing that really fucking grinds my gears is the bitching about the overtime rules. Like, is it okay for anyone to win ever? Like, can anyone lose? Is it okay to lose? No. Everything. It's unfair. Well, how's it unfair? All you have to do is get a stop. There was no stops from the third quarter on. That's all you had. They wouldn't even get to overtime if they covered somebody.
Yep. It was all over Twitter, all over social media. Anyone who would say, when are they going to change these? First of all, they changed the overtime rules not that long ago.
Right.
It used to be sudden death no matter what. Even a field goal gets you a win. They changed it, interesting enough, the year after the Saints kicked the field goal against the Minnesota Vikings to go to the Super Bowl is the year after that is when they changed it to where both teams had to touch the ball, basically.
Right. Well,
but like everybody's like, oh, Josh Allen played so good to win. He deserved to win. No, dude. The rules are the rules. It's a team damn game, and defense is part of the team. Sometimes you play your best, and your team loses, and that's all there is to it. I don't know. Is this part of the everybody gets a trophy generation?
That's where I'm coming from. Right. It's you can't. No one can lose. There's no lose. So what is it? Does it ever end? So let's say that they get the ball back, right, and then they score a touchdown. Then what happens?
Right.
And then.
Does everybody get to touch the ball twice then?
Right. So we just keep going? Like, is it okay? At what point is it okay for someone to lose?
Right. Look, John Allen, great game. Awesome
Right.
game.
One
Week
of the best
before
games
against the Patriots, great game. Like he's right there now with the conversation of best quarterbacks in the game today.
Right. And now, I mean, that's right up there with that Kellen Winslow game back when we were kids against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And that, whatever, the greatest, the Super Bowl, a couple of those Super Bowls were good at the end, the touchdowns and shit. But it's very simple, Smitt. You get the ball, you flip a coin. Is there anything more fair or more American than flipping a fucking coin to decide something that's kind of,
right,
way hard to figure out? The fairest way to do it.
But it's a team game.
Of course,
defense is part of the team. Like maybe somebody on the Bills defense played the best game of his life and we just don't realize it.
Right.
Is it unfair to him that the other guys let up shit? Like they had a chance. First of all, 13 seconds were left in the game.
Right. 13 seconds.
And you were up by was it a field goal or a touchdown? No, a field goal at that point. You were up by a field goal, but several times with 2 minutes left, you were up by a touchdown.
Right.
With and you can't stop with 13 seconds left. You can't stop a field goal.
It's the same thing we're talking about. You're gonna leave Travis Kelce wide open and let him run down the seam, and then you're not gonna cover number 10, who's the fastest guy in the league. Right. So it's very simple. The overtime rules are here. Defense, they got the ball. Just don't let them score a touchdown, and we get the ball back.
Right.
It's not that hard.
If you give him the ball at the 25, if you force a turnover. Or you get a 3 and out. The game's almost over right there. Then the game's over.
Right. You get the ball and you kick a field goal, you win.
Right.
It just stops. It's very simple. And now, how about is it fair to Aaron Rodgers that his special team sucks?
Right. Same deal. Same thing. The Packers lost because of their special teams, just like the Bills lost because of their defense.
How about Tom Brady? He fucking fights all the way back, and then some dude forgets, blows his assignment. How about that? Is it fair for him? No, stop, time out. No, this guy, he wasn't in the right spot. Let's do that one over and let them play the right defense and see what happens. Is that fair? I mean, are we kidding?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it on Facebook, and look, maybe we're old school, and then people are like, oh well, maybe do it like I don't like the college rules because it takes special teams out of the equation.
Right. Why do we have kickers?
It's all offense. It's for everyone who's not a fan to enjoy the game with just offense. Let's just try and score 100 fucking times.
Right. It's arena football. That's all. Right. It's a different game.
Right.
There's games for that.
It's basically like that now if you watch the end of these fucking games.
Right. There's no defense. Right. It's on, and the week before it was ridiculous. It was like someone on our chain said it was like wrestling. Like it was. It's like, okay, are you fucking serious? We're gonna go down the field again here.
Right. That's what I said. And I had it in my notes. The NFL. There's times when it's so ridiculous.
Right.
Like I was thinking about that during the Rams game. Like if Tom Brady really did bring the team back,
right,
you could make an argument that this shit is fixed. Like the WWE.
Yeah. It's scripted. Absolutely. Yeah.
The fact that he brings them all like all the way back again, Tom Brady.
Right.
And especially it wasn't like he didn't have that good of a game. He made a couple plays late, but they got the fumbles, the snap behind the center, the bad, and then
Akers.
I think Tampa Bay got another turnover at one point and didn't capitalize on it. And first of all, that play where he threw it to Mike Evans down the sideline and it was like a late hit.
Oh yeah.
And because the ball had hit the ground, it was a post-play penalty where just the Rams got the ball back. That was on a 4th down play. So they didn't. I thought that was ridiculous too, because that's part of the play. If you ask me, what had happened? I don't know what the rules.
Yeah, I was in it. That's crazy. That's right. I was in the car. Devin had something. Yeah. So I was like, because it took forever, and I was texting back with Big Frank. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then I talked to you. I'm like, what's happened here?
So what happened was it's 4th down, and it wasn't like a taunting way after the play. It was like ball drop, boom, he gets hit after the play, but it was part of the process of the play. It wasn't like a retaliation hit. It was part of him trying to break up the ball, but the ball had hit the ground already.
Right. I got you. I understand.
The late hit. They called the foul, but since it was 4th down, it was a post possession. So the Tampa Bay didn't get a first down. The Rams got the ball. Just backed up 15 yards.
Yeah, I got you. Right.
So anyway, the Buccaneers pissed away one turnover, and then right away they hand it to the dude the running back, and he drops it again.
Cam Akers, yeah. Yep.
You know, we're like, all right, finally, they stop the momentum and stuff. And then two handoffs later, the dude drops the ball again.
Right. Again, ridiculous, right?
In the same spot. Like basically Tampa Bay gained 20 yards by doing it.
But I mean, literally, the dude's only job is just don't drop. I don't care. You could almost go backwards. Just don't fumble. Your one job.
Just don't
here.
give them the ball here.
Right.
Let us punt. Let us punt.
Right. I mean, you don't need to gain an inch. Don't lose 10 and don't fumble. But really don't fumble.
But the game's just unbelievable, Webb. The roller coaster ride we live. Sharon was.
Oh, yeah, that was great. That was great.
we end up. I watched the first game at my mother-in-law's house, and then I came home. But Sharon stayed at my mother-in-law's house, and I just told her, look, if you end up watching some of this, root for Mahomes. That's who we're money. Our money is on Mahomes.
This is where we're at, right? This is going to be good for us. Watch this.
So I didn't talk to her again for hours,
right.
and then she just sends a text like, how can you guys do this every day, every week or whatever? I'm like, what do you do? I thought it was funny because she obviously she was watching. I didn't think she was going to watch, but just she started watching, and just these games are wild, crazy shit. And you live or die. It almost seems like by every play. I just hope the next two games are as good as the four of them were last week.
Tough to live. Yeah, that was great going back and forth with Sharon.
And people are talking about how wild it is. This is really like the first week of the playoffs was the oddity that there was no real close crazy games.
Right.
This was like a typical Sunday in the NFL if you watch games all the time.
Yeah, the modern NFL, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely. Yep.
Right. So just the roller coaster. We live a wild life. So. Had a rough couple picks with the first few games, but kind of doubled down on Kansas City. So it made it even that much better, Webb.
And I was thinking about it too, because we said at the end, we're like, listen, if we're 4-0 going into Sunday, you better tread lightly. Right. So that's always the opposite is true as well.
Right.
If we're 0-3 or whatever it is going into something late, whack it.
Right. So I'm coming off the high, Webb, the high of Sunday, getting my money back, even coming out a little bit on top for the weekend. And then news starts going around New Orleans, Webb.
Rumors,
the dark clouds start running. And I'm responding to people on the internet. Man, Coach Payton just got married less than a year ago. He's on vacation. He's not answering the phone. Stop making more out of this than it has to be. This is all bullshit. It's just fucking off-season bullshit. And sure enough, the next day comes out Sean Payton retiring, Webb. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, hey, you know what? I was shy. He's a good coach. I consider him a good coach, and obviously they're talking about him going to the Cowboys, which I think is probably more, when than if. But as I was going through it, and I'm going back and forth a bunch, but at the end of the day, dude only won one fucking Super Bowl. I mean, it's it ain't like it's fucking Belichick or somebody like that. So you'll be all right, and whoever it'll be all right. You'll be all right.
All right. Well, we've well documented, Webb. Well documented here by me. The relationship between the city and the team. You can roll your eyes. I'm gonna get into it just a sec.
Everybody. That's like the only team that has a relationship with their. The only.
Yeah. Well, coming out of both him and Breeze signed the year of Katrina, year after Katrina. You were there even opening night, wild, crazy night of the Superdome.
Yeah, that was against
the first home game against the Falcons with the Gleason block punt. Long relations. Finally got the Saints who've been laughing stock doormats for years and years. That
Forever.
Super Bowl. They've been in contention though. In this 15 years, there's probably been 2 or 3 years maybe where they were not in some type of conversation for having a legit chance for playoffs and Super Bowl kind of stuff. Just sad day, and I miss him. I'm appreciative for everything Sean Payton's done for the city. However, Webb, the day he sits at that desk with Jerry Jones,
it'll be about a year from today, I would guess.
The day that happens, he's officially dead to me. As long I'm on record.
How quick? Yeah, that doesn't matter. If, Katrina, what?
He's dead to me. He will be dead. He will officially be dead to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what. A lot of speculation about why. A lot of it is Dallas Cowboys. Just want a different. Maybe he likes to follow his mentor Bill Parcells' footsteps. Also, like I said, he just was recently married, so I don't know if there's some Yoko Ono shit going on there, probably like, oh, you got to go in and coach again today, Sean.
He still got a house. He's still got a house in Dallas, don't he?
Yeah, his family. I think when he got divorced from his first wife, they moved. They moved over there, and his daughter is. I think she does like some sideline reportering, and his son, I think, is. I saw an interview with them the other day. Is getting into front office type stuff, but obviously ties in Texas. I don't know if his new wife will want to go live by his old wife, but hey, that's the way it goes when you're making gazillion dollars. And Jerry Jones can pull up on his yacht with his white couch,
and we'll see.
And roll out the checkbook, but we'll see how it happens. But like I say, I don't know if there's some Yoko Ono. Sean, you really have to go coach again today. We just got married, something. So we'll see how it plays out. But the minute I appreciate everything Sean Payton has done, but the minute he goes to Dallas, he will officially be dead to me. As far as the new coach for the Saints, a lot of talk. Dennis Allen's the leader in the clubhouse, I think, because the defense has played so well. I'm not sure he's the personality type to be a head coach. You got to have really a leader of men. I think he's better at, scripting plays, say, than he is leader of men. He did terrible at the Raiders.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago. He's already in the building. It would give continuity, but they've talked to a few different guys, Terry Glenn, and who's the coach of Miami.
Aaron Glenn. You're not
Aaron Glenn, and the guy that just got fired from Bowles, that I think his name is, who's the guy that just got fired from Miami? Todd Bowles. Yeah.
No. Brian Flores.
It's not Bowles. I'm sorry. I'm just saying that was probably racist of me. I named another black guy.
Flores, but I don't know if you're gonna. Yeah, I mean, I like him. I thought he did.
But the thing is, if you bring in somebody, I'm all for a completely new regime. But also, if you bring in somebody else, even though the Saints defense is finally good after 15 years, I'm sure Dennis Allen would say, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm not doing this anymore."
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here while somebody else takes the reins when I think I'm going to take the reins. So we'll see how.
Especially defensive guy. I mean, if you're going to go that way, just hire him and blow everything out and let him bring his own people in.
So before we go any further, I want to thank everyone for going to the Wager Maker store. If you aren't sure the link, we got hoodies, we got all kinds of stuff. We got a nice picture from Dave Hunt today with his daughter in the new hoodie up there in New Jersey. I'm sure it can come in handy in these cold, wintry days. Tim O'Donnell let us know he got some stuff. So feel free to send us those pictures too. So I'll post them on Facebook. And all the people that have bought some stuff, it's really helping us out. We got a nice little bundle building up for our March Madness pool, which is right around the corner. So thanks for going to the store and doing stuff. One announcement too: we will not be pulling the unlike Neil Young, we will not be pulling out of the thing from Spotify. Even though Rogan stays on there, we're fine being on the same channel as Rogan. Right. We are not pulling our thing off of Spotify.
We are for sale. And thank you, Jeffrey Plazinski ordered something. So I ordered some stuff too. The shirt came. I did wrong, and I should have got like a XXX or something. And then, so when the kids will have it. And then I got something else coming, but it's still it's not coming today. I'll tell you that. So it should be here soon.
Right. All right. So I wanted to tell you too, man. Look, we didn't do too hot in the playoffs last week, or haven't been too hot in the NFL playoffs. But at sportswatchmonitor.com, rip it absolutely on fire in NBA and NHL.
Did we go 4-0 last night? I think I did.
I think it might have been 5-0 in NBA last night. We're currently in NBA. We're number 2 at NBA handicappers at 53-38.
Yeah, that's great. I hit a $600 parlay last night. We're
number 3 in NHL at 61-38, and we are currently, Webb, number 6 in 2022 for handicapping with Sports Watch Monitor, 95-63-1, and that's even with our troubles in the NFL.
Yeah, we had a rough weekend. And we got a bunch of stuff going on today. I feel good about the college hoops today.
So if you want to see our picks, check out Sports Watch Monitor. Sometimes I pop them on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that, but sometimes you got to go to there, or if you just not sure, you want to ask us, hey, you guys got this Saturday, we'll let you know. If you reach out to us personally, we'll help you out.
Yeah, especially today, ain't nothing to do but sit on the couch and gamble. So if you're in Jersey, northeast, I guess. Anyway.
Oh, speaking of which, Webb, so I got it in my notes. Louisiana comes out and says in December excuse me, it just recently allowed the sports gambling in December. $39 million was gambled in December of which is drop in the bucket, but it was our first month,
Right.
with legalized gambling, but you still had to walk into casinos. So I'm like, where the hell's the app? This app, I've been hearing you got commercials for 6 months about how the app's coming soon.
Yep.
Well, I bet the app was live Friday. I bet my first 2 plays on the Caesars app. We are all Caesars. That's what the commercial says with JB Smoove.
Yeah.
And I'm 2-0 at Caesars, so they'll probably send me free shit soon.
Absolutely.
Get me going.
Put you on a plane to Vegas.
I put $250 into an account, and they gave me $250 to start the account extra. 2-0 on.
There you go.
On that. I had Memphis last night, and forget who the other team I had was.
So you go through all. Forget to Memphis, Miami. No. Who played? Was it Miami? Maybe. Who played? That was the night before. That was the night before.
We had a few wins. Like I said, we were rolling. So we were 2-0 the night before with the Warriors it was the Warriors and whoever played the Lakers. And then last night I had Grizzlies and I had the Hawks.
The Hawks, right. And I had the Suns.
And we had the Suns.
I actually had the Lakers plus 8.5, I think. I had 14 parlay. I forget who it was. Though.
Dig it. All right. So Webb, I just wanted one more thing. So
what happens with that gambling though? So say you win 10 grand, you got to pay tax on that, right?
Yeah. No. If I win 10 grand, just like if you're at the track, I think if you win some big amount of money like that. But the taxes, majority of the taxes are taken out from the profits from the state, as far as the state goes.
So reaping the benefits. No, but you'll tax you if you win enough.
If you win enough, I'm sure. Just like you do it. If you hit it something, I think it's like $1,500 at the track or something.
Same thing, but the same thing in casino, I guess too, right? Yeah.
So, well, yeah, I know you're against. Are you trying to tell you're against the legalized app?
No, I'm all for gambling. I'm all for gambling.
All right. Don't feel bad. I'm gonna still. I'm not going strictly out. This is for research purposes. This is for research purposes.
Because I don't do it.
I'll still when I need to do something without going into my credit card in advance. You're the man. When I need to call in some margins or whatever. When I need to get a marker. All right. So one more thing. Major League Baseball. The Hall of Fame voting or the Hall of Fame came out this week. Big Papi, congratulations. Obviously well worth. But still, Webb, Bonds, Clemens, Sosa, McGuire. And I think this might have been a couple of these guys like last chance.
I think all of them. I think right, wasn't it?
To get into the Hall. Webb, Pencil Neck Geeks
and Clemens,
sports writers. Pencil Neck Geek sports writers that live their lives with jealousy over these dudes. Right. And this is like their only chance to like stick it to them. I just don't look. I get what they did or what they didn't do, but they played their whole careers throughout. The thing. They're when you look at numbers and playing against even guys at the time, they would be first ballot Hall of Famers.
Well, here's the issue. First of all, Hall of Fame to me is I've gotten older, just more and more bullshit, like you said, just based off of these. It's all opinion and subjective. And was the guy a dick? Was he not a dick? Now. Here's the thing: Major League Baseball. I was in the industry at the time when all this shit was going on, especially when McGuire was banging those home runs. So Major League Baseball had like a little renaissance. Like this was coming off strike years and shit like that, and all this different stuff. So Major League Baseball reaped the benefits of these, whatever steroid users or PED guys, whatever you want to call them. And none of these guys got suspended or whatever. There was none of that going down. At least with Pete Rose, that you kind of have the dude got suspended and it was proven that he did some shit or whatever. So there's at least some precedent or basis to keep him out. So how are you going to let these guys play, like never suspended or anything like that? Or maybe Clemens was. I don't think McGuire or Sosa or those guys any was ever suspended. How can they not get in? What did they do? Like it's. Right. I mean,
now you're gonna stand up with your righteous ass and
right.
Keep, you know what I mean?
it's just so hypocritical. And then again, I'm not, we both played baseball for, our younger years, and a lot of people listen have, but I don't listen. It probably helps you recover and shit like that, but it didn't help when you hit a baseball. It's not hand. I mean, you're more powerful, but I don't know. If
the hand-eye coordination isn't any different.
Exactly. I mean, it may help recover.
And even when he's like, if you look at Barry Bonds' career when he was a young, like if you look at pictures of him early in the career, dude still was a Hall of Fame type player. But when he was lanky, as can be, a thin rail.
Yeah, when he was on the Pirates, he was still stealing bases,
40-40 or 20-20, whatever,
right.
whatever the shit is,
Or 40-40-40 even, 40 doubles, 40 stolen bases and 40 home runs, and still doing what he did.
Yep.
So I agree, but to me, it's just more and more. It's absolutely hypocritical. Well, I just find myself caring less and less about shit like that.
Right, and not only that, but now that Major League Baseball. They lost a ton of fan base years and years ago with the strike, and now they're having some kind of labor issues again. I think there's a lockout going on. They're probably not that far away from having pitchers and catchers show up, and they got some kind of labor disagreement going on.
Definitely this month. Yeah, but at least, what you see, maybe it's just window dressing, but there's something that they're at least exchanging ideas or proposals or whatever. So, yeah, but I think they are officially locked out right now.
Right. And especially with we talked about the popularity of football and how crazy these games are. I saw some crazy numbers. I don't remember what they were. 40 million people watched the Kansas City game the other day. Something ridiculous. With the popularity of that, and now even NHL seems to be making a little bit of a comeback and stuff. Man, baseball, their fan base is getting old and worn out.
Yes.
And I don't know what they're going to do. They announced that they are going to start using the computer or robot or whatever umpire in AAA games this time.
Well, listen, I don't agree or disagree with that. At least it's going to give them. It's a decision. I agree with trying it. Then if you want to get rid of the home plate umpire, then get rid of them. But clearly, you watch some of these guys behind the plate, and you can tell by who the umpire is, where you got to pitch and where the strike zone is. You know what I mean? And this dude's not giving the outside pitches. Dude's not giving. I tell Devin now, even at this point. Right. Pitching he's 10 years old and pitching softball. So I don't disagree with that. But the thing I do like about it is now we're going to know. Let's figure it out, and then people can't bitch one way or the other. We tried it and it works, or we tried it and it didn't work.
Right. Yeah, at least you're giving it a shot. I don't know if it's a
care.
good thing or not. I like personally, I like the nuance of each umpire. You got to figure it out that game. But but it gets too far. But there are also times when it just gets too far.
Right.
When dude makes a pitch. Right. And it's a ball, and you're like, dude, that was the pitch he was trying to make the whole fucking time, and or vice versa. The batter's sitting there, and he knows the ball's outside, and all of a sudden they ring him up, and you're like, the dude's like, dude, I could have swung at that fucking shit, but I knew it was outside, And
not only that, you want consistency as well. At least so you think, you hit this spot, it's going to be a strike or a ball every time. You don't want it to be a strike sometimes and a ball other times. So at least I think with the robo. It would be at least if it hits a spot, it's going to be a strike every time.
Yep. So, wow, crazy week. I want to mention baseball, even though when you're doing this other stuff, baseball's a bore.
And you mentioned NHL. I think the All-Star break's coming, but when we get to the NHL playoffs, man, that shit is phenomenal. It's great. It's like we're just watching those football games over the weekend. Like every shot, especially gets to overtime, man, it's crazy. And the NHL, I do, I have a little soft spot for them. They're trying, I think. They're on TBS now. They're trying to do different stuff. They do that game outside that they played in Minnesota recently. So at least I think they're trying to appeal and trying to, grow with the fan base and with the demands of how people are, consuming the sports these days.
All right. So, let's see. You got anything else we want to hit before we get right into the picks for this weekend? Or
do it. I got to shovel eventually.
All right. I have a little bit of a hard time this week. I feel like the Super Bowl matchup is going to be Kansas City against the Rams. I'm going to say that in advance. Now I don't know if that's going to affect what I do with the numbers and all, but I could be wrong. But the 49ers. I'm surprised the Niners game is on second, but I guess because it's the West Coast. So the Niners, I've seen them twice out physical the Rams. It'd be hard to believe that they're going to be able to really push them around again. The Rams have some great players. I'm just not sure how much of a team they are, but they could have come together after this last week and done something.
The Rams have names. Like Jalen Ramsey, to me, is probably one of the most overrated players out there. You don't really see him making the bigger play. Aaron Donald, I've been riding on him the whole time. It looks the thing that that's affecting. I think Von Miller finally has his feet under him. He looks like he's playing better. And then Trent Williams is hurt for sure, and he's all world left tackle, but he's the guy that they put. And I was wondering why they did this at the time. They put him in the backfield and they had him kind of pulling like an H-back, and that's where he hurt his ankle. He kind of got rolled up on when he was blocking the defensive end. And then Deebo Samuel's a little bit hurt too, so I don't know. Those are what gives me some pause about the Niners. So that's all I got to say about that.
I mean, but when you watch the Niners, though, this is a tough. Like, they're not real pretty. They're not pretty. This is a tough team. Like Kittle and especially Deebo Samuel is a tough football player, dude. He's a wide receiver, but they hand it to him out of the backfield. They hand it to him up the middle. They do all kinds of stuff. Dudes in the secondary do not want to tackle this guy ever.
Yeah. Well, that's part of. First of all, Garoppolo's going to make a mistake. There's no doubt. He's proven. He does have a ceiling. Could that be winning a Super Bowl? Maybe. I mean, he was close. But he's going to throw us in the second half. This game comes down to me in the second half, and this is what kind of made my decision. We've been bashing. I've been particularly bashing Stafford his whole career, but he did prove some stuff last week there a little bit, and he does. Cooper Kupp is going to be open. So are they going to be able to complete that pass to get to win by 3 at the end versus Garoppolo not being able to make a play at the end? And that's what kind of gave me the Rams. I'm going to buy it to 3. I will play some extra juice, but I'm going to take the Rams -3 in that game.
All right. I can see that. I have no problem taking the Rams. Like I say, I'm not a fan of the Rams, but I just see it. If we're talking WWE,
right?
The Super Bowl matchup, the marquee Super Bowl matchup is Kansas City versus the Rams.
Well, not only that, the game is in SoFi Stadium, so that's the Rams home.
Adds an extra. Even though the funny thing, like I think they're going to have more San Francisco fans there. That happened a couple games ago when San Francisco beat the Rams in SoFi. The Rams were kind of complaining, like, man, this is kind of bullshit that we got. But I think that happens. I think that happens every week with the Rams in the new stadium.
Yeah, right. Well,
people travel to there.
Right. It's that's an easy get for San Francisco fans. Plus, you're going to LA, so what's and then not only that, the same thing happens with the Cowboys. The stadium is too fucking big.
Right.
There's just too many seats. And they're not like they're cheap. So, that's you can make all that, the secondary market and all that. If it was a smaller stadium for both any of these new, you'd have more. It would be more of a home field advantage if there were less seats. If that sounds
right,
fun,
right.
But that's kind of true.
Yep. Well, I could see the Rams winning. You got any thoughts on the total in that game? Looks like 45.5.
I was thinking over, but then I look back to last week. There's no, I don't know. I think, like I said, I did kind of handicap it. What I see the Niners. Well, and having said that, I see the dude fumbling the ball now in my head. I don't know. I could go either way, but I think 3 is low enough. It's funny. Like a half point was 4. I'm like, maybe I'll take the 4. The over, no, I don't have a feel for it. I just think the Rams. I think that Garoppolo is not that good. He can miss a wide open receiver, and that could be the difference in the game in the fourth quarter.
All right, we'll see. I'm kind of leaning over, but I don't know if I'm going to even make a play on that. I'm leaning over just because after watching the games last week, I just feel like when the chips are down and anything can happen, the teams start lighting it up, and then you can either have that turnover, the pick 6, or you can have the big play touchdown or big play scores. I feel like teams could at any point an NFL game can put up 30 points in 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
If it turns into that kind of scramble at the end of the game, we've seen it over and over again.
It's almost like the NBA. They'll score with under 5 minutes. They could be 20. They could literally score 4 times.
Right. So we'll see. I'm leaning over on that, and
I'll tell you what. I'm not betting the under. That's for damn sure.
Exactly. Moving over. Chiefs, Bengals. Webb, is this the Chiefs? Is this the Bengals end of the line, or is Joe Burrow and the guys can get any further, or is it possible Kansas City has a little bit of a letdown this week after such a crazy game last week that maybe they win but they don't cover 7?
Well, I was thinking that. That was craziness, but it seems like they're a veteran team. This is going to be the 4th year in a row they're in this spot, so that I kind of eliminated that. I wouldn't mind whoever. For me, this is going to be my Super Bowl pick. Whoever wins this game, and I have no problem if it's going to be Joe Burrow and the Bengals. I'm going to go over 54.5 in this for sure, because I think if it gets away, like you said, this is the game. Literally, they could score 35 points in the fourth quarter easily.
Or you could be over at half. You know,
right.
Half.
It could be 28-28. Right, exactly. It could be 56 points at halftime. So I'm going to go over. I did like the Chiefs at 7, just based on the Cinderella slipper finally coming off. 7.5 is a number. But I'm leaning. I'm back. The over is the bet, and I'm leaning Kansas City.
I'm leaning Kansas City as well. I said it last week about the Bengals, and Titans really gave that game away. Also, just as easily as having a letdown after a week like last week, you can also take a week like last week and propel it into
right.
And have it carry over into this week. And by the way, Tyreek Hill, his mofo's the fastest dude on the planet.
That dude is, he's like in traffic, high stepping at like at the 15.
One play, there was a linebacker come. Looked like he totally had, like on the one play where he cut across the middle and then went down the sideline for the touchdown. Like at one point, I was like, oh, this linebacker's got a beat on him. It's going to be tough around the 5 or something like that. He might have to make a move. He's shooting on the peace sign at the 15-yard line.
Man, right, exactly.
And I was like, what is he doing? And then he just goes right by him. By him.
Yeah, he knew that dude wasn't catching. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yep. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Dude's unbelievable. I like Kansas City. And even this will be another game when it's all over with. Everybody can say, man, Joe Burrow, what a great season you had. There's no, to take the Bengals and blow your looking good for year one, blow your knee out, come back, and team still doesn't get you any offensive line help, but you bring them all the way to the AFC Championship. You've done your job.
And even the coach, Zach Taylor's done a tremendous job. The dude's only, I think, 39 fucking years old, which is mind-blowing. I mean, sitting here in our early 50s, it's fucking coaching in the AFC Championship. But and a good dude. You see, he stopped after the game, I guess the last game or maybe the first playoff game. He stopped on the way home at the bar, at a local bar, and his bar that, walked in there and gave a quick seat
cool.
And bought bar around or whatever. So I do think that matters, though, Andy. Like, I'm no Andy Reid fan, but he's been here umpteen times now. I just think they'll get that done. And like you said, there's no Cincinnati can fucking hold their head high, no doubt.
Right. And can I just say, with these picks, we're taking the Rams and Kansas City. With 5 minutes left, if either team is up by 100 points, do not text me that it's over. You can text and say things are looking good.
Right.
Things are going good. This is a good game. This is so far so good. You can say so far so good. Don't say it's over. Don't say it's done. I hate jinxes. That happens to me all the time. Somebody's always got to tell me it's over before it's over. Until there's 0-0-0 on the clock and there's not a yellow flag on the ground, don't tell me it's over. I get jinxed all the time. People jinx me all the damn time.
No halftime text saying, "Oh, it's going to be a blowout."
Yeah, please. You can make a prediction. Don't say, "Oh, you got this. Looks like it's in the bag." None of that shit.
Especially when you got no money on the line.
Right. You people out there, you know who I'm talking to. Because I get it all the time. Looks like you guys got this one.
Good.
Got this one.
Way to go, Smitt.
Famous last words. I can see it right at that point. It's going down. Also, I wanted to mention, last week, I forgot to mention Floyd Smith, my grandfather's favorite player of all time, was number 16, Jim Plunkett. He was Heisman Trophy winner, Webb.
Stanford University.
Also won Super Bowl with the Raiders against the Eagles. I think that was the one.
It was Dick Vermeil, I think. Yeah, and then he was with the Patriots, I think, before that, right? He started out. Yeah,
he had a long career. By the time my grandfather was telling me he was on the Raiders as like the old, watch out for the old pro. And I was like, Jim Plunkett, he's an old ass man. As a little kid, I forget what year that was. They beat.
And to show how inclusive the Wager Makers podcast, I think that was the Super Bowl where two Hispanic. Because Tom Flores was
right, coaches or something.
And then I don't know, Plunkett was something. He was some type of ethnicity.
Yeah, so. We're really showing out.
I think he might have been American Indian actually. So
to show we're all inclusive. He was
Yeah.
some kind of something, that guy. I forget
It
what-
was. There was something associated with that Super Bowl.
All right. So thanks again for everybody who listens. Thank you for those who especially go on the shopping thing, because that's going to help us build up the pot for the March Madness is right around the corner now. We'll be getting it. I'm sure next week we'll start talking about NBA and NCAA basketball.
Yeah, for real soon. Yeah, we're
Yep.
gonna start.
I mean, this
talking
is
about that.
once the holidays are over, NCAA hoops is kicking.
I mean, once we're into February, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, well, I'm saying we're into it. So, thank you, Buffalo Grill, Little Rock, Arkansas. Thank you, MN3 Technologies. Thank you, Wilbur Investigations, John Grow, Lil Saint, The Goat, C. Really. Thank you all for listening. Thank you especially for getting on the store. Devin in a minute is going to tell you how to check us out on YouTube and like and subscribe and hit the bell and all that good stuff. Webb, take us out.
Thanks everybody for your purchases, and as we mentioned, we are for sale. Sponsorship. The sponsorship opportunity is open. We'll be able to NASCAR it. We'll go head to toe in your logo if need be, and then we will have, like we said, Smitt said, we will have the NCAA tournament. But that's it, baby. Brick by brick, as always. Tell somebody, and you're welcome.
Hey guys, it's Devin. Make sure you subscribe to the Wager Makers podcast on YouTube, like all their videos, and click that bell so that you turn on your post notifications and you never miss another video.
Welcome to the Wager Makers podcast with Webb and Smitt.
Yeah. Hey, shout out Wager Maker Podcast.
Brick by brick, baby.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Here comes the Wager Maker
Here I go.
Express.
I hear y'all sick of losing money cause y'all don't know how to bet. Better hit that Wager Maker Podcast with Smitt and Webb. They gon' show y'all how to do this. Take these notes like y'all some students. Y'all can't seem to pick them right? Well, tonight y'all lucky night. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. Wager Maker Podcast. Wager Maker Podcast. Your bookie getting sick cause we built this brick by brick. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. It's that Wager Maker Podcast. Come and place your bets with that WM Express. Let's go.